It started on a Tuesday, not with screaming, not with blood, with a delay of half a second. Marcus stood at the bathroom threshold. The door was ajar, and the sickly yellow light from the hallway bulbs spilled across the white tiles. The fluorescent lamp hummed, an irregular electric buzz. Somewhere in the ceiling, a clock ticked with hollow metallic clicks. Each tick sounded slightly more empty than the last. Marcus approached the mirror. The mirror was old. The silver backing had peeled away from the edges, creating black speckles, as if the mirror was rotting, oxidizing like a bacterial culture. The chrome faucet on the white porcelain sink had left a greenish film. Marcus leaned in to examine his face. Shadows carved deep hollows beneath his eyes and cheekbones. He raised his right hand to touch his jaw. For exactly half a second, his reflection didn't move. Then it caught up. But the movement was too smooth, artificial, like a video that had been slowed down and sped back up. Marcus didn't notice. Not yet! When he did notice, his heart was already racing. He waved his hand. His reflection waved half a second later. He tried again, faster this time. The delay remained the same. Consistent. Mathematical. Impossible. What? He whispered. His lips were dry, sticky. His voice echoed off the bathroom ceramics. The clock in the background skipped a beat. Tick, 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 tick. A sound he'd never heard before began to register. A low-frequency drone that created pressure in his chest. And beneath it, very faint, like a radio caught between stations. Whispers. Marcus stepped back. The tiles beneath his feet were cracked, dark grout lines forming maze-like patterns. One tile near the tub had a brown water stain, shaped like a handprint. He needed to test it. He needed to know. He positioned himself directly in front of the mirror. Slowly, deliberately, he extended his finger toward the glass surface. His finger reached out. The reflection's finger reached out half a second later. They touched the glass at different moments. The glass showed fingerprint smudges, water spots, and a single hairline crack running from the top right corner. When Marcus's finger made contact, the glass seemed to ripple, not like water, but like space itself distorted for a microsecond. Marcus pulled back. Using the condensation on the glass, he wrote with his finger, "Who are you?" The reflection stared, waited half a second, then smiled. The sound of the smile made Marcus's stomach turn. Wet, organic, like someone opening their mouth after sleeping, saliva stringing between teeth. The clock stopped ticking entirely. Marcus leaned closer, unable to stop himself. The reflection's face was his face. Same skin texture, same slight acne scar on the left cheek. But something was wrong. Fundamentally, horrifyingly wrong. The eyes were too large. Just slightly, but enough to trigger something primal in Marcus's brain. The pupils dilated and contracted independently of each other, responding to no light source he could identify. The smile stretched too wide. And when the mouth opened, too many teeth. Not fangs, not monster teeth. Human teeth, perfectly white, but extending too far back, an extra row barely visible in the shadows of the mouth. The skin had a waxy quality, like latex pulled too tight over bone. The reflection didn't blink normally. The intervals were wrong, and it was mouthing words that Marcus wasn't speaking. A voice, his voice but wrong, processed through something that made it sound hollow and distant, spoke, "I've been here longer than you." The words echoed as if the bathroom behind the mirror was larger, emptier, infinite. Static began to creep into his hearing. White noise, pulsing rhythmically like breathing. Then the reflection began to move independently. Marcus stood frozen, terrified, but his reflection tilted its head 45 degrees to the left, a movement no human would make casually, mechanical, deliberate, predatory. It raised its hand and placed all 5 fingers flat against the glass from its side. The fingers were slightly elongated. Marcus could see it now, maybe 5% longer than they should be. The bathroom behind the reflection was changing. The white tiles shifted to a dingy yellow. The fluorescent light flickered more aggressively. Shadows moved in the background despite having no source. Water began to drip upward from the sink, defying gravity, in the reflection only. Marcus stumbled backward. His foot caught on the bath mat and he fell, catching himself on the sink's edge. His palm slapped the wet porcelain. Glass began to creak. The sound of pressure building, of microscopic fractures spreading through crystal. The voice spoke again. "You can't leave. You've never left." Static intensified. Beneath it, the whispers resolved into a single repeated phrase spoken backward. "Ekelper Rui Dinif Lu I will find your replace." The fluorescent bulb exploded with a sharp pop. Darkness swallowed everything for 1.5 seconds. Only the drone remained. Emergency lighting kicked in. A small nightlight near the floor outlet casting everything in sickly red-orange. From his position on the floor, Marcus looked up at the mirror. The reflection stood at the glass, pressing against it. The mirror surface bulged outward, not breaking, but warping like a membrane under pressure. Fingers pressed through, the glass stretching around them like plastic wrap, distorting but not tearing. He could see stress patterns in the glass, concentric circles radiating from where the fingers pushed, prismatic rainbow refractions catching the red light. The reflection's face pressed against the inside of the glass, its nose flattened, its lips spread, its 2 wide eyes stared directly at him. The sound of glass stretching was like wet leather being pulled taut. The reflection's breathing was heavy, excited. Condensation formed on the glass from its side. Marcus scrambled backward, his hand reaching desperately for the bathroom door. A new sound filled the space, the crackle of reality itself straining, like ice forming on a lake, fractal patterns of sonic crystallization spreading through the air. The voice, now overlapping with itself in a 3-second echo, "I am/you are/we are/the same." The mirror shattered, but silently and in slow motion. Each fragment hung in midair, reflecting different timelines. One shard showed Marcus as a child, another showed the bathroom empty, another showed the reflection standing in the real bathroom. The fragments rotated slowly, catching the red emergency light like falling leaves made of glass and time. And then there were 2 of them. 2 identical figures stood in the bathroom. Both were Marcus. Both had the too many teeth. They faced each other in the fractured red light. The bathroom walls were covered in condensation, droplets running both upward and downward simultaneously. Which one was real? Neither. Both. The question had lost all meaning. They spoke in perfect unison. There was never a delay. There was never a reflection. There was only the static between what you are and what you were always becoming. The clock resumed ticking, but now there were 2 clocks, their rhythms weaving in and out of sync. Water dripped in reverse. The drone cut out entirely, leaving only silence and the dual voices. Darkness. Complete and total. Then, a hand reached forward through the black. Which hand? The originals or the reflections? The fingers filled the space. Behind it, barely visible, A face formed in static, analog TV snow coalescing into features that were almost human. Morning. The bathroom was empty. The mirror was intact. No cracks. No figures. Sunlight streamed through the small frosted window. Yellow-white, clean, normal. Everything was ordinary. The clock ticked with its usual rhythm. But for just one moment, at just the right angle, the mirror caught something. Two silhouettes, standing in an empty room. And then, nothing. See you tomorrow.